Breaking news. Decision Desk has called it for Mickey Sherrill. Wow. Jack Ciattarelli has lost nearly 2-1 so far with 26% reporting.
Wow.
That's a blowout.
Well, it looks like a lot of the rallies haven't.
Based on this showing, I'm actually I've been saying the whole time I think Mamdani has the edge, but that Cuomo is undervalued. I'm pretty sure Mamdani is going to win this one in New York.
Yeah.
I placed a, full disclosure, $400 trade on Cuomo to win because it pays out $5,000 if he does.
Wow.
That's a value bet because Cuomo's odds were not that bad. Internally in New York, according to call sheet data, he's 10% above. So this is interesting. Outside of New York, it's 9-1 Mamdani to win. Inside of New York, it's 49-40 Cuomo's advantage. So that said to me, the people of New York are going to weigh a little bit more heavily. And so I said, okay, I'll make a value bet, but I'm pretty sure Mamdani's going to win this.
Yeah.
It's I think a sad reflection on the Democrat Party. Kind of shows where they're headed, but that they cannot rig an election for a Cuomo in New York City anymore. I think that's kind of shows you the state of affairs of that party. I also think it shows in 2028 they are probably going to double down on this sort of third worldization of America, trying to double down. These people have actually not, we hear all this. Well, we need to tone down the rhetoric and everything. They have not necessarily learned anything from the 2024 election. I think what they've learned is that they need to go harder, and they are doing that.
Well, that's the thing is like with the last two Democrat primaries, you could at best say they put their thumb on the scale to some degree, to a variety of ways. The fact that they didn't do that in the New York mayoral primary indicates that they view Mamdani's ideology as something viable for the future for their party, and that should scare the living bleep out of you. I mean, that's absolutely.
It does. It's the hand eating rice with your hands ideology.
Yeah,
not good.
I think I said something about this last night, and I think that this is still true. The left still has to figure out how they're going to finance a national campaign on that kind of policy, or those kind of policies. The wealthy donors that have been Democrats, that have reliably been donating to Democrats for the past 15, 20 years, they're not going to want to give money to Mamdani or someone like Mamdani, someone that would put a national wealth tax in place, a tax on whatever your net worth is or whatever annually.
It's a Radio Rwanda thing. It was like a tax the whites policy.
Well, I mean, that is true, but like, I don't think that, even though Mamdani might be able to, or someone like Mamdani obviously can win in a municipal race in New York, but nationwide, that I don't know that they have that they would get the kind of funding necessary. I mentioned this last night. Hillary Clinton spent $1 billion. Barack Obama spent $1 billion. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden spent something like $1 billion. Kamala Harris had something around $1 billion. And Kamala Harris went in debt. Like she ended up being, in debt. I don't see them being able to raise that kind of money if they're not going to be catering to the wealthy Democrats.
This is interesting. Kalshi was wrong. Kalshi prediction was that Miyares was going to win, and he had a decent edge. Even before, at the end of October, he was looking at around a 70% likelihood to win. That's what the prediction market said. And then as it got closer to election day, it dropped to just above 50. And as of today, it completely inverted. So the people who kept their money on Jay Jones, they're getting paid out. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Mamdani. The thing about Mamdani and Cuomo, check this out. Kalshi says someone just put $200,000 on Cuomo to win the New York City mayor election, a $1.6 million payout. I wonder if the New York establishment is going to let Mamdani win this one. I am talking about the moneyed interests. Wall Street, big finance, they don't want a Mamdani. Cuomo may have lost the primary. Sure, that can happen. I'm wondering if Kalshi is going to be wrong on this one as well.
So I think polling shows Mamdani is a shoo-in, but hot take alert right here. I actually think nationwide that Mamdani getting elected to mayor in New York City will be a benefit to Republicans nationwide. To kind of piggyback on Phil's point, it's because the only place where a person like Mamdani can be elected, it is in New York City, where you have a high concentration of socialists and immigrants who have become citizens, and specifically Southeast citizens. So there's a high concentration of that there. There's a high concentration of those immigrants and socialists, people who come all across the country. Socialists come to New York City.
How does that benefit Republicans?
It benefits Republicans because they'll be able to fearmonger on around a person like Mamdani.
They could do that with Brandon Johnson.
Not as effectively. Not nearly as effectively.
Why?
Because I feel like Mamdani perfectly exemplifies a lot of the things that Republicans fearmonger. A gay, brown, Muslim, a socialist. Well, he looks gay.
Yeah.
I take him for a gay man. But the point is that the only place where a Democrat like him would be able to win is in New York City. That's why we're seeing like Abigail Spanberger, people would like to call her extreme.
He's not gay. Remember he had that thing where he was mad because white women didn't like him?
Yeah, I was trading on the gay race.
But this is true. He had that blog where he was like, white women don't like me because I'm brown.
Yeah.
It's not true. White women fetishize brown people.
No, that's what drives a lot of these guys is like resentment against white people
So
because they
true.
were rejected in college by attractive white women.
I think you are incorrect, good sir. I think that what's going to happen is Mamdani is going to pass the blame. Whatever happens, he's going to say it's Republicans. He's going to find some reason to be like, look at this Republican bill that intentionally sabotaged our plans to help the poor people. And then he's going to go to stupid people and is going to say, explain to me how me offering you health care was the problem. And then I go, yeah, he's right.
Well, here's the thing. He's definitely going to be put in a position to fail because Trump's going to withhold federal funds. And then also, Kathy Hochul
that's my point.
Well,
he's going to say, nothing I do is wrong. Trump did it. And he's going to show Trump quotes saying we're withholding funding. And he's going to say our plan would work if we weren't at war with the president.
I think New York City, people who live, New Yorkers will see the city turn to shit and then will blame him. Also, in New York City, mayors always become unpopular within the city confines.
I'm going to push back again. People are fleeing New York already, have been for the past several years, and there's a projection that up to 1 million people may flee if Mamdani wins. What's going to happen then is all the polling is going to spike, it's going to skyrocket for Mamdani because the people who oppose Mamdani will leave, and all that's left will be people too stupid to realize his plans don't work. I was talking with Batya Ungar-Sargon today, and she made a great point. She said, all the things that he promised, he literally has no authority to do. The mayor can't make free buses or make them go faster. It's not a function of the mayor. City council does that. The only thing he'd actually affect is the police department by firing the commissioner. That's it. So he's going to people and he's being like, I'll make your buses free. And if they asked him how, because the mayor can't do that, he'd be like, But that's how stupid these people are.
Things in the city will get worse, and they need to get worse for New Yorkers to realize that change is needed.
We thought that
we're going to have the pendulum swing with Mamdani, and then in 2 years down the line, it's going to swing
We've been there, done that. Do you not remember the past several years of Chicago? We had Lori Lightfoot. It went to crap, and then they were like, let's make it worse and do Brandon Johnson. And it's only gotten worse in Chicago, and they have not changed their voting patterns.
I don't think most Americans know who Brandon Johnson even is. Mamdani is a national leftist figure, and he will fail in New York City, and then there will be a pushback against him down the line. There's also one thing.
I think you are insane because you keep touching the fire and going, sooner or later, the fire won't be hot.
New Yorkers need to touch fire sometimes.
Chicago,
for New Yorkers.
Been there, done
Americans
that.
don't care about Chicago.
Been there, done that. Los Angeles, been there, done that. It's not changing.
There's this
Seattle, Portland. Here's what's happening. People are fleeing these cities. The Pacific Northwest and the West, they're fleeing to Colorado and Arizona, and it's entrenching communist rule in these jurisdictions. The reason why we're shocked to find Portland police arresting Nick Sorter is because any police officer who opposed the leftists left a long time ago, and the cops who were there are happy to do these things. Mamdani is going to cause an exodus of moderate to right-leaning people if he wins, and then you're going to see his polls skyrocket. He's going to say, see, the people of New York like me even more now. No, it's because the people who hate you left. Then people outside are going to be like, yeah, that's why we left, but it won't matter. It's geographic hyperpolarization, and no one in this country's voting patterns are changing. I'll put it this way. If the people who lean conservative flee to a conservative jurisdiction, it will not change the amount of congressional seats or federal power we have. The state, if they flee to West Virginia, guess what? West Virginia is still going to be 90% Republican. Nothing's going to change. But it's going to make the blue state much, much bluer. And the amount of seats they have in Congress, it's not going to change for the next 5 years. So it's going to entrench far left lunatics that get into Congress. And then we're going to see that battle at the federal level. And it's going to escalate in the next few years. 2028, if Trump's not on the ballot, we are going to have communist blue states and anti-communist red states. And you can predict what comes next. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.